I receive a lot of emails from pharmaceutical brands who think I'm a healthcare professional, and that's because I sign up to loads of lists from third parties so I can see what pharma are doing and help them improve on it. Now, to be quite honest, a lot of the emails I receive are really poorly written. And if we think we're going to solve our healthcare professional engagement problem by using AI to scale and develop content, then I think that we're going to have a big problem, because right now we can't even get the fundamentals right. I want to show you an example of a typical email that I get from pharma companies and show you what's wrong with it. Then I'm going to show you how I would rewrite it to put the customer at the center and increase your chances of getting that engagement that you really want. So let's get started. We're going to start really simply and just work with the copy, no design at all. And please note that I've anonymized a lot of this and made up scientific language so that you can't tell who it was from. Let's start with the subject line. As you can see here, it's really long and complicated. There's no way that's going to fit in the reading panel of anyone's usual Outlook inbox or anything else that they use. So you need to have something a lot shorter. And secondly, there's nothing clearly standing out. The first things you see is join our symposium, treatment strategies. Is really not clear what it's about or who it's targeted towards. Let's look at the body. It's very formal. Dear Doctor, Orbit, a pharma group company, are proud to invite you to a satellite symposium at Gizmo 2025, focusing on positive advanced lung cancer previously treated with ABC stroke 6 inhibitors. Why should I care about this? What's in it for me? How are you empathizing with my situation? So they then go on to describe some of the details of what will be discussed in the symposium. It's data on very specific regimens, focused on a very specific treatment area within advanced lung cancer, and then they encourage you to submit questions. Then there's basically an image which has a full breakdown of all the speakers and all the session titles. And then there's a call to action, which is add to calendar. And when you click that, basically you get that option to download that ICS file and it adds it to your calendar. As you can see, this isn't very compelling. So if I'm a busy oncologist and I get that email, it's highly unlikely that I'm going to open it. And secondly, there's not a really compelling call to action to give me any reason to actually click and download the ICS. And an even bigger problem with this is even if I do download and I do try and set my calendar to remind and I am going to the symposium, then the company has not generated any lead. It's not generated any opportunity for me to continue to engage. So if I forget about it or I don't show up for any reason, that's the money wasted. Now let's have a look at my rewrite. So if you want to look at the detailed copy and read through it in your own time, I highly recommend going to our website, brandcasthealth.com/resources. The very specific link to this article will be in the description below. So you can go there and you can read the detail. So I'll just give you a broad overview to start with. I've included 3 different subject lines, things that are going to appeal to the audience, stuff like questions and also some personalization so that the person receiving the email feels that it's specifically designed for them. For example, here you could include the institute name, say Imperial College Hospital oncologists are invited to discuss advanced lung cancer strategies. That's much more appealing. Or for example, giving you a chance to compare their strategies with the conference's opinion leaders. So have a look at those subject lines. They're much more likely to stand out and they're much shorter so that you'll be able to see them in your inbox pane. Let's look at the body copy. So the first thing to do is establish empathy. Really make sure you understand that this is a difficult situation in advanced lung cancer for oncologists to deal with, both from a clinical perspective, also from a patient management perspective. So that empathy is really important because it establishes trust with the audience. You need to provide some sort of solution in the email. So it's no good just immediately going to a call to action and saying, hey, if you want a solution to this, go over here. You have to provide some immediate value. So here we're hinting at what oncologists might need to solve this issue. I've included call to actions in here, but you really need to see how the design looks so that they're spread throughout the page in the right way. But we can learn more straight away there and potentially go to a landing page. Also, I like to have this authenticity in here. Nobody likes to receive information purely from a pharmaceutical company. And since you've gone through the stress of inviting KOLs to speak on your behalf or run a panel, why not include a quote from them that shows that they believe in the subject matter that you're going to discuss? I've made a fake example here with Dr. Marzuki. I also included potentially a little call to action where you can learn more from that doctor, and it's often really good practice to record a little bit of a preview or a snippet of the information that will be shared using the KOLs that you've invited so people can get a taster of what to expect if they attend the live session. So already we're starting to build a little bit of a connection with the audience. This feels much more relevant than the initial example I shared. Then you include the details. So at this point, this is where I'm really saying you're invited. We have included at the top that this is an invite so people kind of know what to expect, where it's at, and some checkboxes to say what you're actually going to get out of this. And really what we want to do is get this call to action to learn more. So we want to send someone somewhere else where they can register their interest. From my perspective, we do like people in the room and we would like people to come. But at the end of the day, if they've signed up and registered and given us some information about themselves so that they can start the customer journey and we can nurture them, it doesn't actually matter if they show up or not. We can still send them information from the symposium afterwards and we can still nurture them through our process. So you really want to get this call to action and compel them to register today to secure their place. So give them some additional benefits, maybe some early access to some of the data that will be presented, some clinical implementation guidance that's been developed by KOLs. So also they've got the chance to shape the discussion with advanced questions. So rather than just encouraging them to ask questions when they show up like they did in the original email, use that as an opportunity to drive engagement. I hope you'll agree that this is much more compelling. It immediately gets attention, it expresses empathy, it shows that there is some immediate solution. So what? What's in it for me? You provide some authenticity by including the expert speaker, and you really want to drive someone somewhere so you can capture that lead, capture that insight about them, and start your personalized journey of nurturing even without them attending the symposium. And then you're going to get much more engagement, much more impact, and certainly much more return on investment for the thousands or tens of thousands of pounds that you've spent on that media outreach to oncologists in the first place. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please let me know in the comments. Make sure that you subscribe and check out our website, brandcasthealth.com/resources for more content like this. Thanks for the support as always. See you next time.